Hello everybody, welcome back to A Match Made in Heaven, Eternal Love Forever. I'm exhausted, I'm angry, I'm just like, I'm angry because I got burnt 3 times. For some weird reason, my sink is acting up this morning. I don't know what the hell its attitude problem is. But basically I was doing some dishes for Far Out to do some coffee demonstrations and stuff, some taste tests and things like that, and I was washing them and it got really hot. It burnt me like 3 times. And so I've got to tell Jenna what's going on, and I'm just tell her I can't help with dishes today. I did some this morning and I'm not helping with the rest because I've been burnt 3 times. I was going to do some more cocoa taste tests. I'll probably do that in the afternoon once my fingers kind of cool off a little bit, because it's morning right now, so I'm doing a morning grace this morning. I'm not going to do any coffee or anything. I'm just going to grab a soda for morning grace this morning because, yeah, ouch. My fingers hurt. And then my stupid mugs, for some reason, would not freaking cooperate neither. And they just... Mommy, I'd move that just in case they open that drawer really quick. What, the mug you mean? Mm-hmm. Because I'm getting a bad vibe. They're going to open that cupboard. Yeah, good idea. I'll put it up with the Cabalto for now. And then I'll use it later for the cocoa. Hang on, y'all. Because, yeah, I don't know this person. And if they go opening the frickin' cupboard door too fast, and then they break this, my mom will have a fit. There. Because if they open that too fast and it falls out of there, ooh, yeah, that would not go well. What the buddy did they do that for? They don't pay attention. They just jerk things open. I don't know how some people, how if she opens that drawer or that cupboard by accident, that doesn't fall out. And I'll just explain to Jenna, ow, damn, my finger still hurts from that. And it's just one side of my hand. Like, it's not the side that I usually hold the cocoa in, but I want him to check my hand. Because I wasn't trying to burn myself. I had it regular temp and it just got hotter than heck, y'all. I mean, and I dropped a few choice FUs, let me tell you. Mom could tell you it hurt. Because I had a recording. I put it up in Dropbox for Mom because I was recording it because I was going to use it for A Match Made in Heaven, but then when it started acting up and just burning me, I'm like, oh, hell no. And Jenna's probably going to be going, Mama, why'd you do that? Because she always calls me Mama. And I'm like, well, probably because I needed them for YouTube, and not everybody likes to do dishes when they come out here, so, But I'll get those cups out of the drainer, and I'll just tell Jenna, yeah, I did some of the dishes today, but you guys are doing the rest of them because I want you guys to see if it does it to you. Because I want to see if it does it to Leanne, because if it does it to Leanne, then there's a problem. Because it usually does not freaking, because I'll show Leanne. If I have to show him, I will show him. It did. And I'll show him exactly the position I had it in. Like, and I'll tell her, turn it all the way to hot, then bring it over to like lukewarm and just watch it. It'll freaking get hotter than hell. Because, and I won't lie to you guys, Granny Lib grabbed my arm 3 times and yanked me back. Which is probably why I didn't get, if I don't have any burns on my hands, that's probably why. Because she grabbed me and yanked me back 3 freaking times. So she must have seen steam coming off of that water. So if I don't have burns on my fingers, that's why. I mean, it still stings. But if that's why I'm not burnt, then it was Granny. Because 3 times I got yanked back. Got my hands like jerked roughly backwards, like, nope. I mean, and it did, and I kept apologizing, sorry for my language, but it was just like, it hurt, and y'all, it wasn't even at the hot temperature. It was in the middle, like in like closer to cold. I even had it closest to cold, trying to cool it off, and it was still getting hotter than hell, and I don't understand why. I do not understand that. And I'm going to tell Jenna, I'm letting you guys do the dishes today, the rest of them, because I've been burnt 3 times. I'm going to need her to check my fingers. And, because I want them to see what that sink is doing. Because normally, you guys, and Vita's a witness, the last time, it took forever to get hot. All of a sudden, it's like hotter than a And I've never seen it do that. Because, I mean, it's hot. I mean, it got hot and it burnt me. It freaking burnt me 3 times. And because I was trying to get stuff done so I could make things for far out, and ouch. And I'm even going to tell them, because I'm going to do another chat later, and I'm going to be like, y'all can't say I don't love you. Because I got burnt 3 times trying to get dishes done for this thing. Because, oh my gosh, that hurts so bad, you guys. I mean, really bad. That freaking hurt really freaking bad, y'all. That hurt so bad. Because I want to see if it does to them what it does to me. I'm going to tell her it was acting up really bad this morning when I did. I got over half of them done, but I saved some because I want to see if it does it to Leanne too. Because if it does, then something's wrong. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm going to message her real quick too while I'm thinking about it. Because if I don't, I'll forget. Only better. So I got to tell, I got to tell Jenna what happened. I got to report this to her because, yikes, y'all. That did not feel good. Because all I was trying to do was innocent thing here. I mean, I wasn't trying to burn my freaking fingers off. Sheesh. This sink, y'all, has a mind of its own. I mean, it does. It has a mind of its freaking own. And I'm like, God dang, man. It's like, it has just a total mind of its own where it basically just goes nuts. And that's my twin. That's me. La, 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 la. And that's my staff's last name. I have to put her in as her last name. And I don't think she'd care. But that's her last name, seriously, if you heard that. That is legit her last name. and it used to be Heinz, believe it or not. She's got famous brands for names. She'd get a kick out of it. I don't think Jenna would care. You know, Jenna's pretty laid back. Hey Jenna, I just wanted to report to you something because I want Leanne to see if it happens to her, period. My sink was really going on a fritz this morning, period. I did some dishes that I needed for my YouTube channel, period. I can't do anything for the YouTube channel right now because I burnt my fingers 3 times, period. The sink got really hot, even when the water was supposed to be cooled off, period. It burnt me 3 times. So I want to see if Leanne gets burnt, because if she's getting burnt, there's a malfunction somewhere, period. I didn't do all of the dishes, but I did over half of them and was burnt 3 times by this malfunctioning sink, period. Good morning, Jenna, when Leanne comes out here, I'm gonna need her to check my fingers, please, period. I'm actually crying because it hurts so bad, period. I don't know if I got burnt, but it hurts, period. Basically, I did over half of the dishes this morning because I needed some mugs for YouTube. And basically, I put it on the normal temperature that I can usually handle, and it decided to go excruciatingly scalding hot and burnt me 3 times, period. Even when I brought it over to colder temperatures, it still went to scalding and burnt me, period. I don't know why it did that, because it never does that, period. That hurts, period. The dishwater wasn't scalding, Jenna, it did the dishwater fine, but when I was trying to rinse everything out is when it kept going to scalding and burning my fingers, period. If I'm not burnt, I am honestly surprised, period. Ouch, son of a, Messages. Photography folder, 2 apps. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to put Jenna in my, I'm going to put her, yeah guys, I'm actually crying because it does hurt. Oops. Because it freaking hurts really bad. Whoops, does it say? Hold on. Because that freaking hurts really freaking bad. Okay. Add to favorites. Message. Boom. I'm going to add, we're going to do the call too. Bam, boom. And I'm going to hit this so I can hit the ringtone. No. Ow. There, we got that fixed. Boom. Because let me tell y'all, that hurts really freaking bad. If I'm not actually burnt, I'm surprised because you guys are actually getting to see real life stuff here. I mean, this is why I don't like doing dishes in this particular sink. Is because it has a mind of its own. And yeah. Mommy, you should ask Aunt Kate if that's in your plan that you have to do that. Because that's a safety concern. It is. Because this thing is, I don't know how old this sink is, but it has burnt me several different times. This is why I don't do dishes in this sink, because it adjusts the water. This is honestly why I don't honestly like to do dishes in it. Because, I mean, the shower does it too, but not that aggressively, if that makes sense. Like, I can handle getting a shower because at least it doesn't do it as aggressive as the sink does. The sink will do the water temperature sometimes so aggressively. Even the bathroom sink does that. And it has burnt me multiple times. That's why when I wash my hands, I don't wash my hands in hot water. When I take a shower, I try to keep it, at a certain temperature. And yeah, it does change, but it doesn't do it nearly as fast as the kitchen sink or the bathroom sink. Like, I won't get a shower right away. Like, when I go to run bath water for the shower, basically, I'll let it sit for like 5 minutes to warm up, usually. But then all of a sudden, it's warm. Now, it does fluctuate, but it doesn't do it nearly as aggressively as the sink does. Because, ow, the sink, it fluctuates so fast that you need to ask her. Because if that's in your plan, it wasn't read to you. And second of all, because I think I told her about the sink doing this. And that's why I don't like to do dishes in it, because it burns me. I swear to God, I mentioned that to her. I don't remember, but I mean, I have no problem doing dishes as long as the sink is not going to attack me like that. I've never, and I know it's not attacking me, I'm just being sarcastic, but I've never had a sink adjust temperature so aggressively fast in my life. I've never been burnt like that. I mean, I've had them adjust before, but I've never had it do it so, like, spontaneously. Like, that's just plumb wild right there. And here I go talking Ryan Hall talk again. But this thing went from, like, warm to, like, scalding hot in, like, seconds. Just like, bam. Like, son of a bitch, that hurts. Pardon the French, y'all, but I mean, I have never, and I've had apartments for years, and I don't know if it's the age of this building or if it's how old this sink is. I do not know, or if they just put in a new heater. I don't know what the hell is going on. But y'all, I don't like that. Because if it does that in the shower, I'm not going to be able to take a shower without a staff here. So I don't get the hell burnt. I hope to Christ the shower don't start that shit. Should go in and run one. You should, after you get this recorded, you should start a recording and just run the shower and see how long it takes it to get hot. I'm thinking about doing that. Because if it's doing that too, I'm not taking a shower without a staff around. That way I don't get burned. Because you guys, it's dangerous. If that sink is doing that, I hope the shower's not doing it. Because I've never had problems with the shower. Because I'll have to have them come out every day if I'm gonna like start getting showers. You know, in there, especially if it's doing that. Because usually I don't have to have help. I don't have to be watched. But if it's gonna do that shit, man. That's scary, man. So I'm just warning you guys. I'm letting you guys see this as a warning. Pay attention to your appliances, y'all. Nice lesson. Yeah, pay attention to the sounds. Pay attention to the feel of them. Because, and I've mentioned this before on another channel that I won't mention, but I'm going to mention it on mine. And I'm probably going to give this to Rocky too and tell her to put it on hers. But you all need to pay attention. Especially if you have a disability, autism, anything. Pay attention. Because it's a safety thing, y'all. Okay? Pay attention to what they feel like, what they sound like. Okay? Pay attention to your appliances. Because I can tell you some stories, y'all, that would make your head spin. Do it. Well, one of them, you know, if you feel a microwave. It's normal, all right? The door is closed. It's normal. So you push the door shut. Boom. It clicks. You hit the button. You walk away. Right? Well, I come back downstairs because I had to go upstairs to go to the bathroom. Or no, did I go upstairs to the bathroom or did I go into the... No, I went upstairs because the half bath was wet. And they had the door closed so I wouldn't go in there and fall on my face. Because my staff had just mopped it. Well, so I went upstairs to the full bathroom because I think she had gone to the store or was going to go to the store. She had to go do something with the kids real quick. One of the kids needed something. And luckily they were just around the corner. So she's able to go because she had to take them their bag real quick. So she had mopped the downstairs and she says, I'll be right back. I got to go drop my kid's bag off because it's in the car. They left it in the car. Okay, no problem. Comes back. And by the time she came back, I'm standing there going, oh, great. What do I do? Because what happened was I come downstairs from the bathroom and my cat Gretchen is pulling a Clancy. That's why I always think something's wrong. Because that's what he's triggering in my mind is something's wrong. What's wrong? So I'm investigating every little thing and then it's like nothing's wrong. But that's what Gretchen was doing, meowing. Something's wrong. I walk into the kitchen and guess what? The microwave door is hanging wide open by its hinges, swinging. Swinging. It was a freaking swinging door. And I'm like, oh my God. Luckily my staff was coming back. Well, she came back and I'm like, look at this. So she put my pizza in the oven for me and we reheated it in the oven so I could eat. And then she went with me to the store and we got a new microwave. That's not the scariest one, y'all. And it happened in this apartment right here. This apartment is older, okay? And I don't mean no disrespect when I say that. It's an older building. Well, the apartment had its own microwave. Well, basically, I'm sitting there and actually, I'm going to tell you the other one first. I'm going to tell you the second microwave story. So the second one was my late roommate, Trisha. she was a kook and a half. Well, she had vision, you know, slightly, not much, but she had more than I do. She could see, she had tunnel vision, basically. And she happened to turn. Thank God Trisha turned when she did. We put, and again, thank God staff was coming, because she was on her way when this happened. So basically, Trisha was over at the stove. I think she was cooking something. And I was heating something up in the microwave when it, stop it! Trisha screamed at me, stop it! Because she's seen this bright light out of the corner of her eye. And Trisha usually wasn't the type to scream at me. And a lot of people who know my former roommate would tell you that girl would never scream at me. But she literally jerked me backwards as I hit the, because she actually dropped a few choice words. She pushed me back because she thought it was going to like start smoking or whatever, which it did. It was smoking, it was sparking, it was, oh yeah, it was nuts. Well, and we heard it, okay? So we didn't use it. And she's like, well, because it was something I couldn't, you know, heat up. I couldn't, you know, just do anything with. So basically, she turned around and we got rid of that microwave because it did it to my staff. And she's like, okay, yep, it's got a short. So I had to get, and I think that was the one that we bought that day was the one that had the swinging door. So I think that was later. I think. Or wait, was the swinging door first? No, that was the swinging door one. The one that we purchased was the swinging door. And then, but this one, now remember, that last one, we heard it, right? We heard it sizzling. We heard it. We knew it was something was wrong with it. But this one here at the apartment complex, and this is what's scary because a lot of the people here are senior citizens and it's dangerous. We were sitting there and I was alone. And this is when I had first, this is like, well, wait, last year? No, the year before. It'll be 2 years this year. Yikes. Basically, I was sitting here and I wanted to heat up something for the boys because they had ran out of food. So I was heating them up some chicken, some little pieces of chicken that I had air fried. And I went to heat it up and it was sizzling. So I thought, oh, it's just normal. Well, I opened, but then all of a sudden, I stopped the microwave because, again, one of my paranormal friends screamed at me, stop it. Now, of course, and this is where being blind and the paranormal really can help you. Because, of course, I can't see what's going on. They can, because, of course, they're gone. They can see what's going on. And they scream, stop it. And I quickly stopped the microwave because he was right behind me, and it was a male. I'm not going to say his name, but he is a badass dude. Because if it wouldn't have been for him, I would not be here right now, folks. I'm telling you. Not suicide, but electrocuted. Because I opened the door and I swore I smelled smoke, and I'm like, why is it burning? Because I had tried it twice, and both times, and he the second time he's like, Scarlet, stop it. And I'm like, what's wrong with it? And I managed to get it warm enough that they could eat it, and I put it in there and they were eating. So I told Robin that night, I said, could you clean that out and try it and see what's going on? Well, Robin did. She cleaned out the microwave because it was dirty on the inside. And I thought, okay, it's just dirty. Hold on.
Speech on. Pad 20 empty.
Ah.
Adjustable. Pad 2 loaded with time recorded. Pause. Button. Speech off.
Sorry about that, guys. But basically, she cleaned it out. She put some water in it, and it did that noise again, that sizzling noise. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, it's smoking." And she goes, "How did you know?" And I said, "I didn't. I got yelled at." And she goes, "Well, that man saved your life." And mind you, we're talking a skeptic. You know, not everybody believes in the paranormal, okay? And I explained it to her. I said, "He told me to stop the microwave twice. I tried to heat it twice because I was trying to get it warm because it wasn't even close to being warm." And it did. It was just like, whoa. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you who it was, but I know who did it. And, because a lot of people think I'm nuts if I told you. But usually, saying the paranormal, that's all I'll go into. But, yeah. Oof. And honestly, knowing what this person was like in real life, I could see him being the type to be very protective. Because a lot of people said what a kind-hearted person he really was. And I could see him being like, no, stop that thing. All I'll tell you is he's Irish. That's all I'll tell you. And you know how Irish people can get. They get a temper, they'll get a temper, and if they have to use it to save you, they will do it. And they will also get mad if you don't listen to them. So yeah, that's all I'll say is he's a very nice Irishman. Not to mention a goofball too. When he gets going, he's a goof. When he needs to get goofy, but you know. But always pay attention to the sounds that your devices make. So if your coffee pot sounds funny or your air fryer, whatever, listen to them because they're trying to tell you something. Even if they can't talk, they're trying to tell you something. You know, they're trying to tell you things. Even if you don't understand it, there's something going on with them. And you've got to pay attention to what they're doing. Like a wash machine, if it's unlevel, will tell you like clunk, 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 and it will start walking out of the closet. And you better not try to push it back in or it'll stomp on your doggone foot. Trust me, I've had that happen. And like listen to your coffee makers, listen to every little detail. That's why honestly what Rocky does is a good thing, her ASMR channel, because then you can hear what these appliances are supposed to sound like when they're normal. You know, if they start acting up and they start acting funny, you know, something's wrong, this needs cleaned, this needs whatever. Something's wrong, something is up with this thing. That's why when my Keurig was doing that thing it was doing with the sugar cookie, I'm going, what the hell's wrong with you? That's not normal for you. You're acting up. What are you doing? Because I know how my K Express is supposed to sound. And when it was being real slow, it actually was scaring me, but I wasn't showing it on the recording because I wasn't talking. I was recording it, but I was showing you guys that's not normal for the K Express. But if you go over to Far Out World of Coffee Creations and you look at my sugar cookie taste test, because that's the one it does it with, or did it with, it was being a little smartass and it brewed it to normal speed the last time. I'm like, you're a freaking smartass. Why were you brewing so freaking slow and scaring the living piss out of me, thinking you were broken? And then you do it normal when you know you're being taped. Honey, you were being taped the first time too, sir. Anyway. But yeah. And, you know, it's like, I pay attention to that stuff. I am really, really, really always paying attention to the sounds that they make. Because if you don't, they could malfunction, like that sink was doing this morning. I'm glad I recorded me showing you my emotional state, because, like I said, that hurt. And that's not normal for that freaking sink to just get scalding hot like that over on lukewarm temperatures. That's not normal. That freaking hurts, y'all. That don't feel good. That hurts. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's going to be times where you're going to have stuff like that happen. You're not going to like it. And, you know, it's going to happen. You're going to get hurt being disabled. It's going to happen. But you got to basically jump back on the horse, as they say. But not the day it happens, of course. Like, if you're burnt like me, I'm not touching that water again today. I put water in the Keurig so that I can make some cocoa. I ain't touching that sink again today. I'm letting Leanne look at this. Because if it's doing it to her, then something's up. Because this thing just acts so weird. It freaking hurts. I mean, that flipping hurt. But you always, especially being blind, autistic, whatever you have, pay attention to sound effects. And I know some people are not into everyday sounds. But this is why everyday sounds, you still need to pay attention. Your sink, your toilet, anything. Even if you're not into the everyday sounds, kitty, catty, I'm aiming this at you. You need to be in that sense. Not that you want to listen to them all the time, but for safety, honey, you need to pay attention to what they sound like. Because if you don't, your air fryer could malfunction. You wouldn't know if you don't pay attention to the everyday sounds she makes. Because everyday sounds is one thing, but if something malfunctions, that's not normal. You've got to pay attention to what your sink sounds like, your dishwasher, your whatever you have. Not that you have a dishwasher, but anybody who has anything. If you have devices, even your computer, like Casey's a witness to that. Pay attention to what it sounds like. Her computer, her Mac, it fans itself so much. It gets so hot, it will start fanning, and she has to literally shut it down. Because if she don't, it'll probably fry itself. You have to pay attention to the everyday sounds that your machines make. Because if they start making funky dunky noises that you don't know, excuse me, hiccups. Acid burp. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Yuck. But if you don't pay attention to those everyday sound effects, it's one thing to not listen to other people's sound effects, but you need to pay attention to the stuff in your house, because if it goes haywire, you're going to know it. You're going to be the first to know it. And the more you pay attention to it, because you know what? If you live on your own and something goes malfunctioned, you need to know it, because you need to call it in to maintenance, or you need to tell your parents or whatever. If you're living with your parents and your parents aren't home and your fridge starts making these weird whistling noises or something that it never does before, you've got to pay attention to that stuff. Because if you don't, you can get very badly hurt. And see, the sink, it didn't make any weird noises. It just, the water just abruptly shot up to burning my fingers. There was no different noise. It doesn't make different noises at all. And it just freaking burnt the shit out of my fingers. So it's like, yikes, y'all. Not fun. So, do me a favor, just pay attention to that stuff, you guys. Because if you don't, that's not good. For safety, you need to pay attention. Because you need to pay attention to safety. And like I said, I might be giving this to Mom. I'm going to ask her if she wants it too for our Special Awesome family. Because this goes out to any special needs person. You need to pay attention for safety, because I have been hurt before because of stuff like that. I have had, and I've nearly been hurt. I've been hurt, which was this morning, but I've nearly been electrocuted twice because of a stupid microwave. So you've got to pay attention to sounds. And even if they sound sometimes normal like this, if it's an old building especially, don't believe it. If it starts sounding normal and you open the door and you smell something funky, that's where I fucked up, guys. And I'm just going to flat out say it. I fucked up. The first time my Irish friend said, stop it, and I opened that up and smelled like a stench, I should not have tried to do it again. And if he were here right now, he'd tell you, yeah, she's lucky she didn't get her ass busted. Because I made him mad, and the second time he screamed at me, Scarlet, stop it! Hey, and I could see him doing that as a protective measure, because it was smoking. He could see it. He was standing right behind me, and he's a tall guy. He's like 6 foot something. I can't remember now his height, but he was like 6 something. And I'm thinking like 6'4", I believe he was. He's a big boy, height-wise. And he yelled at me because he didn't want me hurt. And it wasn't like he was like aggressive, but he was just like firm. Stop it. And I did. I stopped it the second time, and it was warm enough now. It was still heating, but it was smoking, and I didn't know it until that night when Robin came over. And she asked me, she said, because I told her the whole story. She goes, well, why did you put it back in? Why did you put it back in there? And I was like, because it wasn't warm. And I thought, I didn't understand what was going on. And she goes, well, if they're telling you not to do something the first time, don't do that again. That's a safety issue. And even my neighbor was the same way, because I told her about it. And she goes, next time a spirit tells you something, don't do it a second time, because you could get hurt. If they're telling you not to do something, there's a reason for it. And, she's right. And I have a bestie who's a medium who would probably agree, would have said the same thing. I screwed up, and I did it a second time because I was trying to get their chicken heated up. So it was like, damn. Because it just sounded like normal cooking, like normal food cooking. So you've got to pay attention to not only sounds, but smell. Because the smell, too, can give it away. So yeah, just pay attention to your surroundings at all times. Outdoors, indoors, everything. Because if you don't, you could get badly hurt. And not only appliances, folks, but if you hear like a weird noise in your apartment. For example, recently we almost lost me again. I was on the phone with Rocky Mom. And Rocky is a witness to this. I was on the phone with her. And we were listening to Left Behind. And what really scared the piss out of her when we listened to it was, first, Backpack Studio. Now, mind you, also, not only can a spirit save your ass, but your technology can save you too, if it decides to malfunction. There are times when technology could also save you. And basically, Backpack Studio, and I'm calling this one out, Backpack Studio basically malfunctions. It stopped streaming. I was on the encoder and I was streaming something, and all of a sudden it just kicked me out. No. And I was pissed. Now, of course, I didn't start screaming at it and swearing at it like another person I know does. But I was really upset because it was this tribute that I wanted to get done. And I was sad because I couldn't finish it. But then I walked out in the kitchen and I go, Rocky, do you hear that? Because I hear this drip, 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 drip. And I'm like, what the hell? I go, Rocky, Mom, do you hear that? And she goes, yeah, what the hell is that noise? And I go, I don't know. I opened the door to the closet and I heard it in the closet. And so I bend down, and this is where I effed up again. I fucked up really bad, and I'm using that word to be blunt. Okay? I usually don't use that word, but this was dangerous, what I did. I bent down and I looked at it. There was a puddle on the floor. I sniffed my hand. I put my hand up kind of close to my face. Not right up at my face, but kind of close to my face. And I swore I smelled soap. Now, along the, in the, right next to my apartment is the laundry room. So I thought, okay. But also, I have soap in my closet. So I thought one of the boys got in there and clawed at one of the soaps or something and spilled soap on the floor. Well, I told Lisa, which is one of the staff that comes out here, and I just told Lisa. So then I tried to text Rocky. Well, at that time, I had no phone. I didn't have the new one at the time. And basically, y'all, we're standing there, we're watching Left Behind when the phone goes and just dies. So I disappeared right off the call. No pun intended there with Left Behind. I disappear and Mom freaks. Well, what happened was my internet went out. Well, I had just texted Lisa, but the problem was it didn't get to go through. Well, Lisa got there that afternoon. After finally about an hour, my internet came back on and I was able to text because I told Casey to get a hold of Lisa, and she said that she had gotten my message. And I'm like, okay, that's good. At least I got that message through before the internet went down. Well, Lisa came down and she's like, oh my God, there's a leak coming from the roof, and it's coming from the light bulb. Electric. I'm like, oh my God. Are you kidding? So the fireman comes and they're like telling me, well, you need to pay attention to structure things when they happen. And I'm like, okay, that would be good if I knew it was a structure situation. Paying attention to sound effects is one thing, but if I don't know it's a structure situation, how in the hell am I supposed to know? I can't see, dude. I can't see if it's a structure problem. So I should just take everything as oops, it's the building, it's an old building, it's a structure situation. I can't see that. Even the maintenance man's like, what the hell? You know. And I'm like, had I not smelled soap, I would have assumed that something was going on with the building. But I smelled soap. I thought one of the boys had spilled soap. So yeah, it was just, oh my goodness. So like, pay attention to anything. And if your technology acts up, there's a reason behind it. Something's going on. So like, if it's warning you about something, if your tech is warning you, hey, if it's warning you about, hey, it decides to stop. It could be something wrong with your computer, or it could be something in your building. Listen to your surroundings first before going off the handle on your computer. Anyway, I will see you guys later for some cocoa again, and we'll chat soon here on A Match Made in Heaven. Eternal love forever. Or also our special awesome family if we end up putting it over there as well. So hopefully you guys found this insightful, because I wanted you guys to see what happened, and I wanted to give you some examples of paying attention to your surroundings, because you need to do that, especially with a disability. Anyway, I will love you and leave you, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day and a safe day. God bless.